It's always a pleasure to have you coming up from Portland, correct?
Yes.
Today. And let's talk speakers. I trust that everybody on here, Forrest, Don, Blake, John, knows speakers. So if you're on this discussion, then you absolutely are in the right place at the right time. So this is going to be our final session for the day. I could see just about right now you're sharing, so you are good to go, Alex. Okay, guys, use the Q&A. We'll be monitoring that, and let's get to work. Thanks, bud.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Good morning. Good afternoon if you're on the East Coast. Appreciate the opportunity to come out here and talk a little bit about Triad PDX. I'm going to spend most of the time today talking about the product itself. We do plan on holding a second webinar down the road that talks a little bit more about just specifically if you're not currently buying Triad from one of our partner stores, kind of the processes involved. And if you're not familiar with Triad at all, we'll do some deep dive on specifically related to Triad. But today, the purpose of this webinar is to go over the recent launch of Triad PDX, so everyone is aware of what this product line is and what it does. So let me get started. Quick agenda topic list here. I'll talk about who I am. Why do we do Triad PDX? What launched? What products are going away? Some really cool new applications that we have coming that really allow you to do more with the products in this particular portfolio. I will talk about features and benefits by series. Probably going to be spending most of my time here because you know, when you look at a speaker, you don't necessarily see all the things that are inside that differentiates it and really sets it apart and makes it sound the way it does. So I'm going to get in there and dive in because this is really, truly a special product. You know, I've been designing and involved in speaker product development for a very long time, and this is by far the best sounding architectural speaker that I've heard in my entire career building for different brands. I'll talk about pricing, some launch materials, and some dealer tools. So it's really quickly about me. I'm Alex. I'm the Director of Product Management over at Snap One for speakers specifically. This is my second kind of tour of duty with the company. Really enjoy working with Snap. It's a very special company that's good to its employees and to its partners. So I've been involved with speaker development on and off since the early 2000s, and I have worked on audio products for Mirage, PSB, Paradigm, Totem, M&K, REL, and a number of other high-profile brands out there. So I'm currently responsible specifically for Episode and for Triad. So why PDX speakers? Well, first, what does PDX mean? PDX is the airport code for Portland, Oregon Airport. So we felt it important to make that tie-in to our Center of Excellence that we have in Portland, which is both our engineering and a manufacturing facility. So why did we do this product? Well, back in 2020, if you've seen it, you're familiar with Signature by Episode. So it's got the push lock technology, multi-piece design. As soon as we launched it and showed it, this is right around the time of when Control4 merged into Snap One. Immediately, Triad dealers were saying, where is the Triad version? We really want to see something like that. We're really excited to have a product like Episode, but with the promises that Triad brings with it. So about 2 years of development went into the PDX product, and finally Triad PDX was born. So we launched this about, I would say, 2 weeks ago, and it's beginning to roll out. But talk about what we launched. So PDX is 13 architectural in-wall and in-ceiling speakers. They include 26 accessories, from enclosures to new construction brackets, etc. A number of new applications. So the current Triad distributed audio products are really meant for distributed audio, especially when you get into these, I'm going to call them the plastic round or injection molded speaker types versus our kind of wood box built to order product. So we have not had the ability to build out a true home theater with Triad, premium or DA series round products. We just didn't have all the applications. So we will have that. I'll talk about those specifically in a minute. And then the customization that you can do with Triad. Triad is all about custom built to order. In this case, we are limited in what we can do because we don't have 100,000 pound injection molding machines on site. So a lot of the manufacturing happened overseas on this, but you can still customize the grills to a specific color if you want pink, blue, black, white, whatever to match the decor inside the home. You can custom order a grill based from a laundry list of all the large paint brands that are out there. You just choose the color and we will custom color the grill for you. Where are these launching? So obviously on the Snap and the C4 portals. What's new is launch at local. So our partner stores, that is new for Triad, and there will be a process if you are currently not a Triad authorized dealer to be able to sign up and go through that process at local. I'll spend more time on that on a separate webinar. And then of course, international. So this is an omni-channel launch across all of our channels worldwide, globally. So what's important here is this is for Triad authorized dealers only. If you're not Triad authorized, you cannot buy these until you go through an authorization process. What that means is this continues to keep the product brand very exclusive and only available to dealers who are qualified to be able to sell into this product line. So let's talk about the specific models that we're launching with PDX. Let's focus on the speakers first. So today we have three series of three groups of products, let me call it that. One is the premium rounds, which are open and closed round products, our DA series, and now PDX. Obviously, we have our wood box built to order products that sit above all this, but this PDX launch is meant to layer on top of the DA series 1, 2, and 3, which you can see pictured in the chart here with all the various applications and sizes. So the first thing you'll notice is a number of new applications, and I'll go through that in a couple slides, which will allow you to build out now a home theater. Whereas with the previous DA series, you can see it was mostly for architectural or distributed audio. What products are going away and when? So if you happen to be a Triad dealer and you've spec'd in some Triad premium round products, they are going away, but as you can see from the run out dates, they're quite out into the future. So if you've got jobs where you've already spec'd in Triad premium round and you still want to use those, no problem. We have inventory. They are kind of while supplies last. So I can't guarantee that those are going to be the actual run out dates, but that's where we are as of as recently as last week. Now, why is this important to tell you about? If you spec'd in this product and you potentially want to move into PDX, the hole cutout sizes are different. So if there's only one thing you get away from this webinar is to know that if you've already spec'd in either a DA series or a Triad premium round into a job, PDX will not drop into those cutout sizes. So there's a new set of pre-construction brackets, a larger cutout size. Please order accordingly to make sure that the right product gets into the job site. Moving on to the 3 new applications that really helped to give you the ability to now do a home theater, a really great home theater system using architectural speakers. We've got the IC angle speaker. So this is a 15-degree angled baffle speaker. It's great for if you have an angled ceiling, or on a flat ceiling, it can be used as an in-ceiling LCR. Or if the speaker for Atmos is not, if you can't put one right above you, and you want to have some flexibility, the angle speaker will allow you to do Atmos, just knowing it's a 15-degree angle, so you can pinpoint the object-based surround to the right area. The second product that we have is the IC DTS. So this is a dual voice coil speaker and a bipolar surround speaker in one. So you just flip a switch on the back to choose what application you're going to use the speaker in. So if you got a small bathroom where you want to put a single speaker in the ceiling and get awesome stereo sound from one speaker, you put it in the dual voice coil mode. If you want to use this as an in-ceiling surround speaker, just flip the switch, put it in the ceiling, and now you got a surround. Another benefit is you don't have to stock 2 different applications, 2 different speakers. Now it's one speaker you can stock for multiple applications with the DTS model. The third new application is an in-wall LCR. This would be used as the front, left, center, right for placement around a TV. There's no reason why you can't use it as an in-wall elsewhere in your system. But this is really what gives you the capability of building out a home theater system with this product. I do want to jump back and make one note on the IC angle. This is another important note. It is a 6-inch speaker in an 8-inch opening. So it shares the same pre-construction bracket or the new construction bracket as an 8-inch. And the reason we did that was an 8-inch driver in an angled baffle deep setting sounds like it's coming from a tin can. So this still allows you to get really, really good dispersion. But what you have to do is you have to install, it has to be in an 8-inch cutout to achieve that. So that's another important note here. Everything else is pretty standard. All right, I'm going to jump a little bit now into the things that are common amongst all of the models in with the PDX line. So first of all, these are designed and engineered in Portland. These are products where we developed the woofer and the tweeter from the ground up ourselves. Absolutely no off-the-shelf parts. These are all tooled and owned by us. And why that's important is that is not a common practice in this industry. There is a lot of off-the-shelf drivers that are going, that are being sold to a number of the big brands. It's important for Triad to set itself apart, where part of our differentiation is we do all the driver design in-house. And in the chat before we started the presentation, one of the benefits of that is we have more flexibility in how the product sounds and what the product looks like. So it's very important. All PDX designed and engineered in Portland. All PDX models use the patented push lock technology. So this is the same technology that is in Signature by Episode, which allows you to install with the press of a button. So press a button, it locks the dogs in, and you can tighten it down a couple, up to 6 millimeters more with a screwdriver if you don't want to rely just on the spring force. That is available on all of the PDX models. Speaking about installation, the next one where it says seamless installation your way. This has a 2-piece construction where you can install the speaker and the cradle at the same time, but you can remove the speaker. A great example of where where you might do this would be if you're on a job site and it's in a pre-construction phase and the locks aren't on the doors and you're kind of getting near that point where you got to finish out install. If the job site's not secure, you can remove the speaker module, take it off site, so it doesn't get stolen, and then come back when the job site is secure, come back in, pop it in the ceiling. The other benefit is with the speaker module out, you can pop the grill on and the PVC cover, and you can proceed with your HVAC pressure testing, which is required by many municipalities before a certificate of occupancy can be issued. So multiple benefits of the installation method of the PDX product. The fourth thing that's common to all models is our voicing. So what that means is how our Triad speakers sound. We have a very, very distinct acoustical frequency response and signature that Triad uses that makes all Triad speakers sound very, very, very similar. So we have an anechoic chamber on site at our Portland engineering excellence location. Anechoic chambers are not common. There are not a lot of them in the United States, and a lot of brands out there don't have one. And what they have to do is they have to go to China and work with a Chinese manufacturer and pass samples back and forth. Takes a long time in development. For us, we have one on site. We can measure, go to our listening room, listen, make a tweak to the crossover. We can do that all in the span of minutes, which allows us to dial in that sound a lot more efficiently than other brands out there. The fifth thing that is consistent with all the models, at least on the in-ceiling models, is a cast aluminum tweeter bar. It is installer grip friendly, meaning you can go up a ladder holding this thing in your hand by the tweeter bar, and you will. It is absolutely rock solid, and it has an additional benefit, which I'll go through on the next slide, that it's acoustically inert, and I'll tell you why the benefit of that is. The grills are frameless. What that means is it doesn't have that thin plastic outer bezel, and that's consistent with our current Triad DA series product today. The other thing that's consistent is just the white color and the perforation pattern. They match the current DA series, which allows you to kind of mix and match in the house and go from one room to another. And if you got a DA series in one room and you got a PDX in the other, you look up in the ceiling and they look the same. The only difference is the size is a little bit different. I'll get into more specifics on that a little bit later. But you can order a custom color for a slight upcharge. So you place an order for the speaker. The speaker, you get the speaker with a white grill, and then if you chose the custom color option, that order comes to Portland. We paint the grill as the orders come in, and we send them to you so that you have both the speaker and the custom color. The optional rear enclosures for this product are primarily meant for reducing sound from propagating from your listening room to the room behind it. That is really the sole purpose of this. It is not to enhance performance. In fact, what you're doing is you're putting the speaker into a very, very, very small enclosure. So you are going to need, we highly recommend using a subwoofer to compensate for using an optional rear enclosure. But really the benefit is, so the kids' room, if it's on the backside of where your theater might be, it stops the sound from going into the room by reducing it by 30 dB. So just keep that in mind. And then new construction brackets, they're all color-coded. They've got clip-in arms. I know it's not something to get excited about, but we get a lot of great reviews for our new construction brackets. Where a lot of thought went into the design of these, and it really, really, simplifies installation. So that's consistent with all models. I'm going to get a little geeky now and kind of geek out, because really it's the details that go into this product that that kind of translate into the acoustic performance that really sets this product apart. As I said before, the speaker looks like a great looking speaker, but there is a lot of stuff going on inside that you need to know about that differentiates us. So the cast aluminum tweeter bar, so not only is it used as an installation handle as you go up a ladder, but it is acoustically inert. And so energy that gets lost through vibrations reduces SPL and can cause distortion. So the cast aluminum tweeter bar is rock solid. It's acoustically inert, which means it does not lose energy through vibration. So all of the energy being produced from the woofer below goes into the room, rather than being lost in vibrating something that is much weaker or cheaper. So you get higher SPL and better bass performance from the woofer that's below it. So the tweeter bar, dual purpose as a handle, and actually has acoustical benefits. All of the PDX models have a baffle dimples, or a sculptured baffle, and that's on purpose. So what this does is eliminate standing waves. So it disperses sound waves in the upper mid-range especially, and throughout the high frequency range, which smooths the overall sound power response, which is basically frequency response. So this has a benefit by improving tonality, spaciousness, and imaging. So something as simple as the design of the baffles on all PDX speakers does have acoustical benefits. A lot of baffles out there are just flat, and you can run into some acoustical challenges by doing that. All right, so talk about the three things that differentiate between the Series 4 and the Series 5, and then I'll do a deep dive into the Series 4 and see a Series 5 acoustic. So carbon fiber woofer in Series 4. So really high strength, very responsive, 1 1/4 inch voice coil. I'll talk about that in a bit. Pivoting Teteron dome tweeter. So this tweeter has an oversized surrounds, and I'll talk about what the benefits of that are in a more detail than is here on the screen. And then a tweeter adjustment switch. So the tweeter adjustment switch really helps to compensate for really reflective rooms where you would dial it down, or overly damped rooms where you might have to give it a little bit of boost. Those are available on all four series products, with the exception of the LCR. The LCR has a dialogue enhancement switch. And because the LCR is located around the TV, and especially the center is primarily used for speech and dialogue, flipping that switch will actually increase the frequency response in the frequency range that your ears are most responsive to human speech. So the dialogue becomes more clear and more intelligible. So the LCR model has the dialogue enhancement, and the other models have a tweeter compensation, tweeter adjustment switch. Moving into the Series 5, you have an interwoven Kevlar and carbon fiber woofer. So not only carbon fiber, but now you add Kevlar. Talk about that. It has an upgraded pivoting 1 inch Teteron dome tweeter. So it uses neodymium magnets and that sort of thing. And I'll go into that in depth. And then on the Series 5 speakers, they have both a tweeter and a woofer adjustment switch to be able to compensate and correct for different rooms. So that's Series 4 and Series 5, but let's dive into the details. So let's geek out a little bit here. So the woven carbon fiber woofers are not just a typical woven fiber, the carbon fiber. It is a high fiber count. There's a lot more fiber that's used in there. It allows for a tighter weave. It provides increased strength and responsiveness, more linear tonal balance, especially against less expensive, lower fiber count options out there. So if you're buying an off-the-shelf carbon fiber woofer, you're very most likely to be getting a low fiber count option. And this is, again, we spared no expense here to try to find ways to increase performance. But at the same time, there is a cost associated with that. So these speakers are definitely awesome performers, but there's reasons why. These are the list that I'm going through right now. It's a big contributor. So PVA coating. So the woofers have a polyvinyl acetate coating, which essentially damps the resonances that happen in the cone itself, kind of like a shock absorber. So most carbon fiber cones do not include this coating because, again, it's higher cost. There's a lot of brands out there that are very sensitive about price point. And for us, the details matter. So definitely not included in off-the-shelf products, and definitely not included in what other brands use, but contributes to reducing that resonance in the driver, which increases sound quality. The voice coil on all PDX models is 1.25 inch. That's big. Most architectural speakers are 1 inch, and these are dual layer as well. So think of the voice coil as kind of like one of the most important parts of the motor of the speaker, the ability for the speaker to move out in and out. So by having it larger and having it dual layer, it reduces heat buildup, which improves power handling. And because the interaction between that and the magnet results in the force that the speaker can create, force and the ability and the excursion ability of the speaker is enhanced, which results in way better bass performance. So compared to Signature, this has 3 dB more output at 50 hertz, as well as 20% more power handling. So Signature is a great option for partners out there. This steps up the performance even more. The talking about the Teteron dome tweeter specifically, it has an oversized surround. So you've got the actual tweeter cone itself, and then you have the surround. That's all part of the piston area that actually produces sound. So you get higher sensitivity, which again need less power to go louder, and reduces the amount of motion, which smooths out the frequency response. So the 1 inch comes standard in all of the PDX models, with the exception of one, the dual tweeter, the small dual tweeter model. Signature by episode has 3/4 inch tweeters on 6 inch models, and the 1 inch is only available on 8 inch, but that 1 inch is still smaller than on the PDX. So another big differentiating factor, both against other brands out there and what we have with Signature today. Now going a level deeper, so this is now Series 5. This is our pinnacle, top of the line, in-ceiling architectural speaker or in-wall speaker before you get into our wood box build-to-order product. So these feature not only a carbon fiber woofer, but Kevlar is also interwoven in there. And we know these are two of some of the strongest lightweight materials on Earth. They both have PVA, which is that polyvinyl acetate coating, which provides awesome control of cone breakup. So the cone breakup happens at really high volumes where the driver starts to deform. These are so strong that they don't deform until extreme volume levels, which means you get significant reduction in distortion. We got an aluminum shorting ring in there in the motor structure, So you get better reductions of distortion, tighter bass, better detail. These are amongst the most detailed speakers you'll ever hear. This Kevlar carbon fiber mixture is very rare, mostly due to the high cost. And I've only seen it in some very, very few esoteric high-end brands out there. So again, we felt that this is needed for Triad to uphold our performance story. So we spared no expense to add this to the product. The tweeter on the 5 Series is upgraded Teteron. So not only you get the oversized surround, but you get an additional copper cap and dual neodymium magnets. The neodymium magnets are the strongest magnets on Earth. So they are in the motor system, which even further linearizes and stabilizes the variance in induction, reducing distortion and significantly improving transient or impulse performance. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes that you're not seeing. And it's really, really this stuff that sets these products apart from what we sell under a signature product, for example, and for other brands out there. Now, they come at a premium. Pricing comes in at on the IC64, which is the Series 4 6-inch in ceiling, at $450 MSRP, all the way to the flagship, which is the IC84 dual tweeter surround at $829. This still comes in, if you're building a home theater system, this still comes in under where our wood box product starts, but it certainly elevates the performance where you can't put a wood box product in the ceiling. This is a really, really great option to build out that awesome sounding home theater system that you couldn't do before with our premium round or our DA series product. All right, where does this product sit in relation to the other products that we have within Triad, either premium round or a DA series and signature? So I wanted to show you where our positioning was, especially versus signature. I'm not going to go through the whole chart. I'm going to just focus on the 6-inch. So our DA series 1 6-inch, which is our contractor grade speaker. Obviously, it starts at the bottom of the price list. The 62 is the step up, goes up in price. The 63, another step. And then the signature 5.6 comes in just above the 63. We have our silver open round product. And then we have the signature 7.6 IC. Awesome sounding speaker. But as you can see, Triad goes up market from there. And if you look at the other models in the product line, it's pretty much consistent. So the positioning of Triad is above that of signature. I wanted to put in just some competitive comparisons. I don't have actual prices in here. These are rough estimates of where everything lies. So I used Origin and Sonance because these are probably the biggest bogeys that I consider when I'm doing product development. You can see that PDX sits in very, very close to where the flagship models of Sonance and Origin are. So they're competitive from that standpoint. But I can tell you that you got to hear these things versus what else is out there, because all that stuff that we put into the product with the cone materials really sets us apart. The bill of materials for the woofers and the tweeters on PDX are 50% more than that of signature. And it's reflected here in kind of our pricing, and it does result in incredible performance benefits. Now, you may wonder where the world of Triad and Episode are going and how we're going to divide now that we're under one brand. So Triad is our upscale, upmarket product. And as you see all the things that we're developing and coming out with, we're definitely, that is the story amongst the entire product line. It is exclusive and protected. It is built to order or completely customizable, not in the specific to PDX. PDX, you can customize the grill, but Triad's general story about our wood box product is it is built to order. And that's really what sets it apart. And we're not like other brands that only do sound bars built to order. We will do, you know, we got in-room products, we got subwoofers, we got the entire line that can be built to order or completely customized in whatever fashion you want for the wood box. Designed and engineered in Portland. So we have our Center of Excellence in Portland, Oregon here, where we have our manufacturing and our engineering facility. All of our products are designed there. There's nothing happening with China or any of that stuff. That is all done in-house and made in the USA. Not PDX. You know, PDX was designed and engineered, but again, we don't have massive plastic tooling machines available to us. So that had to happen overseas. But so that's our Triad positioning. Episode is really focused on value. It is designed for the masses. So we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 8,000 partners that are buying Episode today, where Triad is definitely on the exclusive or protected path. And Episode uses a sound based on science approach. So it's really around a scientific approach, where Triad is both scientific and, you know, there's an element of art to it. The design of the product is very much different than on the Episode side. And we're going to continue to keep these things divided. There's no reason why you can't use an Episode product with a Triad. We got a lot of guys using mega subs with Triad, and you know, and vice versa. But really, this is how we're positioning the brand going forward. Talking about launch deliverables for PDX, we got a lot of great stuff. I'm not going to play these videos over here, but I do urge you to check out Nick's video. It's a 2-minute elevator pitch on PDX. You know, that's a great thing to just watch and get a refresher, and really great for partners out there to watch if they want to learn more about that product in, you know, without investing a huge amount of time. We've got, you know, press releases that I believe have gone out now. You know, all the typical things that we would get with launch, but what will happen in the partner stores, local we'll have kiosks, we'll have a freestanding display, we will have video to tell the broader Triad story. And really, this is a really exciting time because it's the first time we got Triad going into our partner stores at local. And you know, we want to make sure that we equip everyone with the right tools. And we will have a separate webinar specific to the sign-on process. If you're, you know, if you want to buy Triad, you're not a Triad authorized dealer, you want to buy Triad at partner stores, we'll do a separate webinar. The other thing that we had, which we felt was really important, was sales enablement tools. So things like showing the difference in the cutout sizes between our premium rounds, our DA series, and PDX. Very clearly visible. We have charts that will tell you between those 3 product lines what the different new construction brackets are. So there's no confusion. We're trying to eliminate calls into support. Yeah, we'll take those calls and we'll help the dealer or the partner. But we're trying to create as many tools to reduce the number of calls that have to come in for information. Specifications, very important for these higher end products. So we've gone over and above to specify to a deeper level than we typically would for other speakers that we do out there, just because the Triad partner is, for the most part, a more knowledgeable and educated buyer, not in all circumstances, but the specifications really help to explain in quantitative measurements, how these speakers are different. And that just about wraps it up. So PDX launched just a couple weeks ago. The detail and the effort and the cost that went into the driver materials and the construction really set this product apart. And I keep repeating myself, but it may look like a regular speaker on the outside, but it isn't. It is a different beast, and you got to hear it to believe it. These are the best sounding architecture speakers that I've ever heard, and I hope that this helps to build your business. And we are here for you. So if you have any questions, let us know. And I think I'll just open it up to questions now. Because that's
exciting stuff. We do have a couple. John Grant, thank you so much. Alex, can you see John's questions? The first one?
I can, let's see.
I can read it out to you. Thanks, John. Okay, so the LCR is shown, this is a couple minutes back, is shown in a horizontal alignment. Is it recommended to only mount them that way? And what happens to the sound if they are mounted vertically, rotated 90 degrees?
So they are meant for both applications. So if you are mounting it in a vertical application, you want to have the tweeters on the more on the outside rather than on the inside, so that the dispersion characteristics are both the same in the horizontal and the vertical manner, so they can be used interchangeably horizontally or vertically.
He goes on to ask if you could speak to the usage of Teteron as a tweeter material versus the silk dome. Most speaker manufacturers sell Teteron as a man-made material to simulate a natural cloth or silk dome at a lower price. For example, in the DA series, the Series 3 use silk versus Teteron in Series 2. John, boy, you are detailed, man. He's a tweeter guy.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, not all Teteron dome are the same. So if we go to a level even deeper, there are so ours is a combination of a cotton mix. So there is both man-made and natural fibers in there. But really what sets it apart is not just the cone material, but it's the cone material plus the surround plus the neo plus those three things kind of in conjunction with each other elevate the performance versus just a typical Teteron dome tweeter that's out there.
Nice. And Trip, I don't know if that first question answered your vertical LCR question, but again, it was any plans for a vertical LCR or any plans for PDX in-wall subwoofer line?
So vertical LCR, so obviously we have that one in the form factor that I showed you today. We have two models that are not in development yet, but absolutely we want to do a vertical LCR that's longer. We definitely want to do a larger, in ceiling, like maybe a 10-inch, for, again, stepping up performance one step later. But I can tell you every product in the portfolio today is getting touched. And that includes in-wall subwoofers. It's not necessarily under PDX specifically, but everything is being touched right now. So I can't tell you when it's going to be ready, but we have a number of exciting products on top of PDX that are in development as we speak.
Nice. All right, guys, just standing by just for a couple more minutes here. You're welcome, Trip. Thank you guys for joining. We're about done. Hey, you know what? When you mentioned a little bit about that one example of somebody using, I think it was an episode sub. I just want to gauge your feeling on that. I mean, for one, we're accommodating, and you're like, hey, if that so happens to be, everything plays well together. But what would be the circumstance that would actually happen when you already have Triad, in the job? And would it be just simply sourcing? Because I mean, I think that could be easily dealt with within the job parameters.
Yeah, so right now in our powered in-room product line, whether it's Triad or Episode, Episode is leading in performance because we only have the Omni series really as an in-room powered subwoofer.
That's interesting. Okay, yeah.
So as we roll out the line, Triad is going to have products that surpass the in-room powered with, and built-in performance. And then, right now we got a lot of architectural products on the Triad side. But you got to run a rack amp, which isn't for everyone. So right now we're seeing Mega as a great temporary measure or product to use until we have those higher performing Triad in-room models, which are coming. Really excited about those. But yeah, so right now, integrating a subwoofer to a speaker, really brands don't matter, that sort of thing. It's really about phase control and getting the crossover points correct and that sort of thing. What you wouldn't be doing is mixing and matching a signature in-wall speaker with a PDX speaker, because they're totally completely different, and they're not voice matched like the PDX speakers are to the rest of the Triad.
No, but I like your confidence in that particular example, and also you kind of forecasting where you ultimately want these subs, the new subs, to be targeted. That's cool.
Yep.
All right, guys, if we don't have any more questions, thank you so much. I did record this. Alex is going to get me the slide deck. There was some great comparison charts on there that I definitely want to make visible. We talked about another webinar coming down the pike. Look for that in the next 60 days. I'll slice it in probably before September once we get into later CEDIA land there. But guys, thank you so much. Join me each and every single Wednesday. I've got the best of the best on the show, 6 a.m., 9 a.m. West Coast on our weekly webinar series. Alex, congrats to you and your team for the rollout on this. We're all behind you, and we feel privileged to be able to represent this correctly at the Snap One partner stores. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. Be safe out there. I know it's busy. Alex, great job, my man. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.